Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again for another short ride with the stud. Today we're going to take you back to about 1983. In the end of 1982, we've already had this as a piece on one of our short rides with the stud, in which Bob Armstrong was the referee when I wrestled Ric Flair for the World Championship. I think it was late October 1982. Bob turned heel, and wow, turned into a tremendous heel, really great heel. And so we're going to take you back and show you a piece here in which Bob has been a heel for about 3 months at this time. He's already got a lot of heat. He's got himself a mustache already, and he's smoking cigarettes and cigars on his interviews, and he's not the Bob Armstrong everybody's ever seen before. He's a totally different character. Brad had been gone from the territory for a long time, and Brad comes in, and I think this is one of his very first matches on TV, and he's wrestling against Robert Gibson. Rock and Roll Express, one and the same guy in the Rock and Roll Express. Both these boys are extremely young, but wow, they could really wrestle. Match is not very long. I have to apologize for that, but I'm going to let you see it rather than me try to tell you about it. I think you're going to have a totally different impression of Bob Armstrong after you see this little piece of video, and let's take a look at it now.
After the events of several minutes ago, the complete card for the Montgomery Civic Center is still up in the air. However, you will challenge for the Southeastern title of Jimmy Golden under Texas Death Rules.
That's right, Texas Death Match rules, Golden. Now, he's a hometown favorite in Montgomery, but TDM, Texas Death Match, finds out who's the man of the bunch, and you're looking at the man, Bullet Bob. Highway robbery is the least I could say about how he stole that title using a woman to do it. And now I wonder what they're going to do. Austin Idol's got his nose and face rearranged by the Mongolian Stomper. What are they going to do now about who meets Flair? I should have been the man to meet Flair. Now they got themselves in a heck of a mess. That Stomper did a job on his face. I'm just interested in what's going to happen now.
By the way, by international sports ruling, the new tournament that's being made up will not include Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Jimmy, there you have the comments of Armstrong, and it's going to be a big night in Montgomery.
Well, that's true, Charlie, and I can't go without mentioning what happened to Austin Idol out here, and I'm going to tell you, it's a dirty, rotten shame. We got some real cutthroat people in this area that have really been knocking some people out of the chances of getting at Ric Flair. And Bob Armstrong, you're one of those cutthroats. I'm going to cut your throat, big bad Bullet Bob. And right here says the whole thing right here, sonny boy, because it's around my waist. I'm the favorite in the whole southeastern area, not just Montgomery, Alabama, because I'm bigger and badder and tougher than you ever thought about being, sonny boy. You're going to find that out in Montgomery, Alabama. Texas Death Match, I wouldn't want it any other way. Falls don't count. Charlie, you know that anything goes in this type of match. And Bob Armstrong, I'm going to kick your butt all over that ring. I got one thing that you got coming. I've got it for you, sonny boy. That's a big old pile driver right in the top of your head.
Ladies and gentlemen, certainly a lot of confusion after what you have just seen here moments ago on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. We've been in the back on the telephone, and we'll be continue to making calls at the remainder of this hour. Austin Idol has, we know for sure, a fractured cheekbone, broken nose. It looks like he will not be able to face NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. So after being on the phone just moments ago, the only thing left for International Sports Incorporated to do is to put together another one-night round-robin tournament so we can find an opponent for NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, who will be here in the southeastern area very shortly. We do understand that there will be a tournament. We hope to have this thing put together before by the time our personality profile runs around in today's program. However, we have found out, International Sports says that because of what has happened, the Mongolian Stomper will be barred from that tournament. So that match will remain the same. It will be loser leave versus Mask as he takes on the Executioner, and that Texas Death Match situation continues because Bob Armstrong also barred from any tournaments here in the southeastern wrestling area because of his conduct. We don't have the full details. Once again, we'll try to get back on the phone just as soon as possible. Rick?
Charlie, I've got a phone call out for you. If you go ahead and take care of it.
Thank you very much.
A couple more guys on the phone. We're trying to contact as many stars as we can. Pardon for the interruption of this 2-minute interview. I'm sorry. Charlie is on the phone with several stars, as are the other people in international sports. 2 matches will remain the same on your card. The Mongolian Stompers match, Loser League Town versus the Mask with the Executioner, and the Southeastern title match of Bullet Bob Armstrong and Jimmy Golden will remain the same. Hopefully, by the time Personality Profile, we'll have more details for you on this. Welcome back to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. We're going to go right to the ring and dispense with the ring introductions, if you would. It'd be one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the blue corner, Robert Gibson. In the dark blue trunks, his opponent, Brad Armstrong, returning to the southeast. In the light blue turquoise trunks, Brad from Marietta, Georgia. Charlie is on the phone right now after what just happened. We're trying to get something decided about this card and trying to really figure out just exactly what's going on. We'll keep you posted as to what exactly is happening, but I just really don't know what to say. It's one of the most reprehensible things that I've seen in quite some time. Joining me at the desk, Mr. Bill Ash, the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, and I believe, Mr. Ash, that we have just witnessed one of the sneak attacks.
In my match, the people don't like it sometimes because of my superior knowledge and tactics that I come out on top and have the advantage of the man. It's just sour grapes on their part.
Robert Gibson now on the offensive. Blocked by Armstrong. Gibson trying for that field throw, and Brad Armstrong reversed into the turnbuckles by Robert Gibson, and Gibson trying for that shoulder block, ducked out, and I believe almost hit that ring post, or maybe he did. I can't see from our angle.
That's that same shoulder that I threw out for him in Oklahoma. That's that same shoulder. Look at him.
Referee,
he's hanging now.
Wait a minute. From the dressing room, Bullet Bob Armstrong. Brad apparently standing back from the injured Robert Gibson as Bob is shouting at him, I believe, to continue the match and take his win. What would almost be a Armstrong now screaming, I said, beat him, beat him. Whoa. Oh. Well, Bob Armstrong just slapped Brad. I don't even want to speculate on this kind of confrontation. But to Brad Armstrong's credit, and let's give this young man this much credit, he is a sportsman, he is a professional athlete, and he is not intimidated by the bully tactics of some other people around here.
Well, I'll tell you this. His father was trying to teach him a lesson, trying to correct him. The young man should have listened to his father. Sometimes a parent has...
Well, what about that? I mean, gosh almighty, nobody would have ever thought they would ever see that from Bob Armstrong. And you know, when we got the idea and Bob and I talked about it, you know, I said, Bob, I think we need to do something that is going to just really shock friends. And he was like, well, what do you got in mind? And I said, you know, I want to turn you heel. And he just like, whoa, you know, I've been wrestling at that point, I think he'd probably been wrestling for 12 years, 14 years. And he said, man, I've never done that, you know. And I said, well, do you think you can? And obviously, well, as we see more of these, and we're going to show more of these, as Bob is a heel, he is just tremendous at it. And he proved to me and to everybody else, even the wrestlers, once they saw that I was we were going to turn him heel, they were all suspect about, well, Ron, he's one of the greatest baby faces in history. How the heck are you ever going to get people to hate him? And I said, well, we'll see how good he is at making people hate him. And that's what makes a great heel. You know, it doesn't come naturally to him. You know, you got to get that heat yourself. So, and this, he slapped Brad Armstrong, his own son, and wow, that it was a shock to fans. It's like, wow, that's all they wanted to talk about. Well, it wasn't too much longer about maybe 2 months later, he starts to have problems with Charlie Platt, and because of his attitude, because of the way he handles himself, he's just totally a real nasty, no good, rotten guy. And Charlie just refuses at one point to even interview him. I won't talk to him on TV anymore. If he comes to the set, I'm leaving. When we have another commentator during the course of this time, a guy named Rick Stewart, that would take over when Bob came, and Charlie would leave the set. Well, eventually, about 2 months after this incident that you just witnessed, Bob is going to slap Charlie Platt. We have not found that video, and I really apologize. We have searched for that one so much. We had not found that television show. But it was such a hot angle that the day he slapped Charlie Platt, Charlie Platt had a child that was born on the same day, and Charlie went to the hospital where his wife had given birth to the child, and Charlie said that 6 guys from the National Guard unit came to the hospital and found him and said, "We're going to get Bob Armstrong for you." You know, he said he was amazed at how much heat it got. So, you know, we're going to show you some more. Thank everybody for joining us here. I mean, obviously, this is another short ride. The long rides are right there on ClassicContinentalWrestling.com. Only $4.99 a month, $39.99 for an entire year. About 15-20 cents a day for a tremendous number of programs now and television shows now, and we really enjoy bringing you these short rides with the stud, and we're going to bring you another one real soon.